and welcome to the 1154th regular meeting of the Housing Authority and Urban Redevelopment Agency of the City of Lake City, New Jersey. Notice of this meeting has been properly posted and published in accordance with requirements of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. We will begin with a roll call. Commissioner Dorsey.
Yes.
Commissioner Gabay.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall. Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Wills.
Here.
Chairwoman Marshall.
Present.
We have 6 members present, quorum to conduct business. Next, I would ask everyone please join in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda, public comments.
Okay, I am going to, looks like it's all residents. Okay. Sandra Robinson. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, I do. Hello, commissioners and councilmen. I have a question I'm going to bring it up again. I got a letter, which I gave a copy of the original. Now I found out when I got home from that, the lawyer that is part of Law Officer Victor and Saul sent me a certified letter. This time with nothing on it. No enclosures, and not even who did this terminating for me to be the January the 31st. I gotta ask a question I would like to ask y'all, if you don't mind. First of all, I paid my rent January. I've been there 16 years, and I ain't never been late. I pay on the 5th of every month. Now, I can't help it if housing, wait till the 20th to put to the bank, and I ain't got proof of that. What I don't like is this. I've been through too much stuff to find out that the lawyer that's after me, because Judy Gray didn't like what I said, and Evie Reeve, she's Evie Reeve. I even got a letter of cease from her, dated August the 17th, 2023. And I want to ask y'all a question, if y'all don't mind. When are we going to get somebody that really cares about us in Shore Park High? The building's been falling down for 2.5 years. Tony Langford, the mayor, the former mayor, his brother was the first one who told me about it. When are y'all gonna do anything about the housing problems that we are having? Or sewage twice, electricity out, 2 days. And we have a building slanting towards falling, brick falling out of it. What are y'all gonna do? Oh, what are you gonna, I got 2 questions. The second one is, when are y'all gonna make sure that you're gonna charge me late charges, but you ain't gonna take and make sure that I'm late? Can I get an answer, please? And am I getting evicted for taking and ceasing to shut my mouth because I asked for the PHA form that I told Ms. Ross about? She didn't know it at the time. You want me to sign a paper? You're going to tell me, my niece, that I can't get a copy? Is that legal?
Okay. Ms. Robinson.
Thank you so much. I told you I'd be back here every week until I finish what I got to do. But I want those 3 answers. Please, thank you very much, Commissioner and Council.
Chairman, do we want to have the paperwork or whatever paperwork she's talking about?
Oh, excuse me, that's a certified
See what time.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes, sir.
with respect to the eviction or the letter that you got from the attorney, is it possible I could get a copy of that?
Sure you can.
I would
I
talk-
gave you one last time.
You let me, this is something new, right?
But no, these are 3 different letters. Each one of them has a different thing on the back of them. This one right here says enclosures. This one doesn't. I gave you the one with the enclosures, but I don't even know what they
Yeah, I
are.
didn't get the included. I got the one letter last time.
Yeah, I even gave you that they wouldn't get rid of me too because I haven't given them the doctor notes that they wanted Hannah wanted. After he had taken millions of dollars from Harrison.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, I do. I went to the meeting.
What I just did, if you could.
Yeah, here it
Copy
is.
to this. I will talk to Mr. Sullivan and find out what he thinks is going on, and we'll talk.
He said
about-
he's going to terminate me on the 31st. I gotta move out my building.
I'll be talking to him before the
Oh,
board.
well, you got this left in Eli, can you give it there?
Did you have any answer to what she's talking about?
I do.
Okay, so Ms.
yeah, I'm
Robinson,
going
do you
to-
want to listen to see if you can answer some of your questions? or-
Sure, I wait a minute. Let me give you this right here. And you see, this is the one this is the third paper, but I got this first. And, didn't even say it was Commissioner Small that was sending me from housing. They got all that information on there to terminate me.
Okay, hold on one second.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Robinson. Ms. Robinson, can you
Yes,
stay
sir.
right there? He's going to answer your question, so.
Oh, go ahead, sorry, Mr. I got
Okay,
your
Tom,
name on this
Tom's
paper.
good.
Executive Director. You're the big man. Person was 40. She's the one that I sent the doctor notes, my lawyer sent the doctor notes to.
Ma'am,
Because I don't trust my manager. They don't. And they are not the kind that want to do anything to get up higher. They don't care nothing about the residents. Let's go. What you want from me?
So I am prepared, but am a little bit hesitant to disclose any private information that pertains to you and your
So
lease.
we see each other on the end by ourselves?
We can definitely have a follow-up.
Oh, I'll
meeting.
be
What
glad.
what
I got my lecture chair downstairs.
What I will say is, there's been a large amount of documentation that's been provided to both Ms. Brock and myself regarding your situation.
Oh, good.
There is a tenancy issue currently.
Yes, it
To the best
is.
of my understanding, it has nothing to do with rent.
You know, this got to do with me cease and desist because I asked for the PHA form that I signed for my renewing of my lease. I got a letter on that too.
So because of the fact that I don't want to put your personal information out,
Oh, you can tell everybody. Maybe they need to know.
even if you're okay with it, I'd rather.
Yeah, I'm
I'd
fine.
rather not, but there is a path forward with this that does not involve any
I have nothing to fear.
eviction proceedings. That's what I'm
Please
saying.
take and tell them.
But there are regulations and steps that have to be followed.
Oh, yeah, was it wolf that I had not followed?
So Ms. Robinson,
Technically speaking, no.
Ms. Robinson, meet with Beth so she can schedule a meeting with you and Tom.
Oh,
and you
that
can
would
sit
be
there
good.
and
That's
talk.
fine.
So just, Beth, can you just give her your permission? and
Oh,
then-
Brock knows about my situation, because I asked her was at a PHA.
You're going to rush your paper, so
Thank
give
you.
your availability to Ms. Beth, and then Beth
Oh.
will schedule something for you and Tom to come and talk.
I gave it to you before. I know you got it. You even got the doctor's note that said my son is certified to live in my house as my age.
He's not. Sometimes we have to stop.
Nobody wants to
We
let
have
her
to
do
put
what
the
she's
truth out
gonna talk
there.
about that.
He's not.
Hey, it ain't like I ain't seen it on
And
TV.
it's in the email. Charmaine Hinter.
Good afternoon, it is Shaw Marie Hinton.
I'm sorry, what's the pronunciation?
Shaw Marie Hinton, Hinton.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm here today to get an update and maybe to get some answers. Back in May, my air conditioning unit went out. So they came in and made the assessment. You have a new director of maintenance, Mr. Zebulon Davis. Okay, he came in, made the assessment. It's down. Okay. So he then brought in 2 LG air conditioning units. I have a 2-story unit, so he took one upstairs and one downstairs. Okay. Indicated to me that someone would be in contact with me to do a follow-up. Okay, I went along with it. So, latter part of September, there was a cool night. My husband gets cool very quickly. Okay? He suffers with bronchitis and things of that sort. So there's a temperature type of thing. You really should not be getting cold. So I go to turn on the heat. No heat. Okay. So then I call that in. So Mr. Zebulon Davis and Joseph Sapp Jr., I think he's a junior, to be correct, came out and made the assessment. The unit is down. So at that point, no AC, no heat. So then he brings in 2 small heat blowers. Okay? These heat blowers, I would say this, and to be honest, will keep you from freezing, but they're not adequate. And the reason why, where I'm at, they're not adequate is because I have a 2-story level and there's no one next door. So you don't have that heat penetrating in the walls. If you go to that house, all you're gonna hear is a bunch of cracking. That's because the inner walls are cold. So, like I said, the little heaters are keeping you from freezing, but they're not adequate. And they're definitely not adequate for him. I had to put him in the hospital on the 12th, okay, of December. And had to beg the hospital to allow him to come home on the 21st for the holiday. Okay, we dealt with it. So I said, I need an update. So then I reach out to Ms. Grace and also, and I thank her for all of her commitment and everything that she's done, and also to Ms. Brock. I reached out to her. So Ms. Brock responded. She responded. Ms. Grace responded. So I said, here we go. We're going to go into a freezing zone. What's up? What's up? Can't be in this house. So she responded to me and asked me if I would like to be moved to a hotel. I responded instantly, yes. So that's where we've been, okay?
Okay.
And I don't have no update and no hope for tomorrow. Okay, so what's the process? I've done this work. I've done this work, property management, so I know what the paperwork, how it's supposed to channel. So what I'm here today is, whose hand is it in now? I'm receiving these letters, extending my stay. I keep receiving them, extending my stay, but no one is informing me of the status.
All right, thank you.
When did you go into the hotel then?
The 3rd,
The 3rd of January?
January.
Ms. Hinton, I did, while you were speaking, I was checking our work order system. I do see that there was a work order placed. Do you know off the top of your head whether or not our HVAC contractor came out to your dwelling to inspect the system and recommend repairs?
When you say yours, you're talking about Atlanta City Housing Authority, how that?
No.
Or
for
outside contract?
Our HVAC contractor.
Oh, yes. Kisby Mechanical Services came out on November the 29th. And he came in and made an assessment. You cannot repair that unit. It needs to be replaced. And he did report it to the manager.
All right, so we have quite a few purchase orders that are in the system under Kisby because they're also our plumbing contractor. But I'm gonna locate that. Everything that came through requisition-wise, that had pricing that was given to us by Kisby, has been approved at this point. I just have to find your specific
It has been approved?
address. I'm looking right now to find your specific address. If I can't find it on the fly, we will definitely reach out to you with a follow-up on that. I do not believe at this point in time that there are any requisitions that are still pending for HVAC. But someone will reach out to you tomorrow and give you a clear update on that.
Okay. This person is just curious. I'm receiving the correspondences, and the people that are on the receiving end is the property manager, the director of management, Judy Grace, residential services. Why is the security CC'd on this letter and not anyone from finance if this has been moved forward, or the executive director? On the correspondences that I'm receiving, okay, I'm asking why someone from the finance department, procurement and all that, or the executive director, or his assistant was not CC'd, and why was security involved? What does security have to do with this process?
Do you mind if I glance at the correspondence that you're referring to?
That's the first one.
Yeah, I see that security office is CC'd on this, but it doesn't specify an individual. I'm gonna have to follow up.
Scanner site, right?
Yes.
Just curious, you know, with everything going on, I'm expecting it would make me think that certain vital individuals that's not connected with this process. So that's why I'm asking, what is the update? Give me some hope.
Who's on the phone?
I'm not fascinated. Being in a hotel room may be fascinating to some people. Not to me and my husband at our age. No kitchen. Okay. Don't like to cook food in the microwave. I can warm it in the microwave. Okay. So what we're having to do, we're having to fight me mostly to go to their house, cook us some food, and take it to the room.
I mean, I can tell you this much, I am in constant communication with all of our department heads. Whether or not I'm copied on a letter that goes out is less vital than me being in conversations with all those individuals and tracking where we're at on certain things. Again, looking into our software, I'll be able to give you a clearer answer. But we do have a lot of requisitions for repairs that Kisby has been assigned. And again, I'm not seeing it just yet. As soon as I find it, if you're still here, I'll follow up with you after the meeting. And if not, we'll definitely reach out to you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you for everyone's time. Once again, I want to thank and commend Judy Grace and Deirdre.
Okay, thank you. Charles Hinting?
Same, we together.
Okay, same, okay, thank you. All right, next is the landlords. I'm gonna skip that and get to that last. Diane Ruffin. Hi, Ms. Ruffin.
I'm here. I'm here to not beat you all with the Bible. I'm not here to do that. But I'm here to make a statement and to ask you questions. Matt, Thomas, it wasn't, I spoke of Matt last time. It wasn't, we would have liked anybody that came in that treated us human, because we have been abused for so long, you know. So it's not, I know, I don't know you, but I trust you're looking out for us, over at Stanley, and always. I'm not feeling too well today, so embarrassed, excuse me, because I was attacked by a resident. You know, I had a stroke and I had a brain bleed, and I had to learn how to walk, talk, and go over again. And this person didn't realize that I'm at high risk of having another brain bleed. And I did put a complaint in, report in, 6 o'clock the next morning. However, I pulled the charges against her. I pulled the charges not to charge her with, because I'm fine. I'm just, my nerves is just a little shot. Okay, so, Thomas, we welcome you. However, we are cautious about you, but I told him you were doing us right, and you promised, and so I believe you. Ms. Mitchell, how long you have been, Marshall? How long have you been with the Housing Authority as the chairperson?
2 years.
2
As
years?
chair, yes.
Okay, were you on the board prior to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, how long have you been on the board?
About 13 years.
Okay. Well, so you didn't know about this problem, the seriousness of the problem at Stanley Home Village?
Not to
Because-
this extent, no.
Oh, yeah, well, I know Colleen had, and I put the file over the day, the last meeting for you to look at. He's contacted you about Stanley Home situation plenty of times. So I would just want to know, can you tell me, I'm curious, could you tell me how, can you tell me why y'all have taken so long on the board? I know he wasn't here, but why? Because y'all, this was going down for years. It was going down in 16 before I had the stroke, and I know that Colleen documented everything to 2019. So, but what took y'all so long? I'm just, because things didn't have to get this bad. Things didn't have to get this bad. And this is my last time speaking for the residents of Stanley Home Village, unless a problem is solved. Anyway, so can you tell me what took us so long, took y'all so long? Because I know that, and I'm very humble, but I'm curious, because I have been suffering, along with the rest of the residents, but I have suffered the most because I'm out there, I'm getting attacked, I'm getting verbally attacked, I'm getting physically attacked. I'm 7 years old. I didn't deserve to be attacked. I didn't deserve to be attacked for getting information out to the residents. Now, and on top of that, talk about Julie Gray. I spoke the last time about the senior citizens and what we could do by going in there and find out whether they got any family, because most of them live alone. Some may have family and some may don't. But I was at the Christmas dinner, and Julie Gray gave me such an attitude, because I spoke up, and she said at the meeting that I understand that Thelma left or her partner left or whatever, but still, that's no excuse, because she's the head of the department. She's the head of the department. See, I'm willing to assist y'all to go in every senior's apartment and find out whether they got family or not. And maybe we can direct them back to their family instead of putting them where they choose to put them, like in the high rise. I wouldn't go in a high rise. Many of the seniors wouldn't go in a high rise. So, how did things get this bad with you and everybody else? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just asking a question.
Ms. Ruffin, I don't think there's a clear and a short answer to that, but what I will say, during the time that I was on this board, we did interview several contractors on Saturdays that we took away. We knew we had to eventually tear Stanley down. We met with those contractors back in 2016, 2017. In May, I believe it was, of May of 2021, City Council passed a resolution giving the Housing Authority an entire city block, in which we called Stanley Junior, for lack of a better word. The plan was to develop there, that is still the plan, to develop housing on that entire city lot. COVID happened, a lot of interruptions did happen, and also at the time the board decided to redevelop Busby Village, thinking that would be a quicker process, and then begin to build at the Stanley Junior lot to start to tear down Stanley. So it's a lot. That's a small summary, because we only have a short period of time, and we have other speakers. But in short, that is sort of the answer. Stanley, as you know, was built in 1935,
I know all that.
1950.
Tell me that.
Right, but HUD has tried to get Stanley torn down, trying to get elected officials on that same page. A lot of them did not want to do it. In the 90s, they tried. Diane Johnson, who was the head of HUD, she tried in the 80s, she tried in the 90s, she tried in 2000, and finally we got to a point where a board was ready to say it could be torn down. So we have been at this for a while. That information hardly gets out there. No one's interested in that information because there's the issues with heat and hot water, and who wants to hear that? But it's not like we haven't been doing anything. That's the short answer. Okay. Ms. Ruffin, your time is up. And I welcome you. Come to the next meeting. Don't say I'm not coming anymore.
I'm not coming, because I'm not coming back unless you don't tend to the senior citizens. And then I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I welcome you at the next meeting.
All right. Well, I'll be back. I'm sick. Y'all know that. I'm sick. I had a brain bleed and I'm sick.
Thank you.
And I'm doing the best I can.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next is Linda Hogan. I'm sorry, that's the landlord. One more, I'm gonna get to the residents. Tanisha Bailey.
How you doing today?
Hi, Ms. Bailey, how are you?
Today I'm here because I'm having problems with the Section 8 office. I'm a Section 8 participant of the Lane City Housing Authority. I'm having a problem with your new director, Malcolm. He's threatening to terminate my voucher. He doesn't even know me. He hasn't speaking for him to be a happy man. He's very angry. I don't want to deal with him no more. I feel threatened, and he already threatened to terminate my voucher after being a successful participant for 23 years. Now, my other issue that I'm having is with my landlord. My landlord is a private owner. I live in 212 Chalfont Avenue. There's no exit and no entrance to get out the back gate. Code enforcement has came in and fined her. Your inspectors have came in and fined her. They said it's a safety hazard. I didn't tell this to her. I didn't make that up. I didn't fine her. It's not just my unit, it's 6 other units that she owns. She's a participant of DCA and Section 8. I've been with her for almost 3 years. I haven't had any problems until Section 8 came in and she couldn't pass code and she couldn't pass inspection. Now she's retaliating against me. I tried to go in and explain it to Ms. Janelle Alvarado. She took it very personal because it came back down to the REPs that I was asking for, which was the utility reimbursement. She wound up giving me a printout of the history. Come to find out it was something old to me. I had been talking to Tom about this back in September. I brought it to his attention back in October. I went to Ms. Janelle. I asked her about it. She was very offended. She was very frustrated. I asked Ms. Shanice, can she sit in with us as a witness? She sat in with us as a witness. Ms. Janelle was very disrespectful to me. I've been asking to speak to Mr. Malcolm because he was new on the scene. He had instructed them he gave Ms. Christine Walsh a direct order not to let me in the building and conduct any business until he had scheduled the appointment with me. When I came in to see him finally, after 2 weeks went past, leaving messages, calls, and everything, that's when he threatened to terminate my voucher without an explanation or even letting me explain myself. From that point on, it took everything in me for me to humble myself, so I didn't want to deal with him any often. When I came to his office, I always brought a witness with me. I really believe that for me, keep on complaining about the utility reimbursements that were stolen from me, it's a whole bunch of the people from Atlanta City Housing Authority that's conspiring and intentionally trying to deceive me, intentionally keeping paperwork for me, intentionally holding paperwork for me to complete my obligations as a participant of the Section 8 program. Now, my landlord gave Ms. Janelle a copy of the new lease that she wanted signed back in October. Every year we do a recertification and a renewal of a new lease. Why do I have to go to executive director, a director, 3 caseworkers, some of the employees just to get that completed? And I don't want to deal with Mr. Malcolm no more. He's a happy man, but he's very angry and he offends me in the worst kind of way.
Okay.
I sent you the email to your text. You was too busy. You couldn't respond. I'm letting the board know I don't want to deal with him no more.
What is the procedure when a resident have a complaint, and how do the director of Section 8 threaten resident? I'm just saying, if this is the case, I'm saying, who terminates their Section 8? The director?
Any member, if it is warranted, any member of the Section 8 department.
He hasn't known
What
long enough for that
document-
even to
what
come up as a
documentation?
conversation.
Wait a minute, ma'am.
So-
Do you have your paperwork, like with your utilities and stuff like that? Do you have documentation?
I'm not sure who he had because he was new.
I'm saying,
I
do you
didn't-
have documentation?
Do I have documentation? Yes, I have everything.
You have everything?
Yeah.
Have you spoken to the executive?
I spoke to the executive. I sent him an email last week. He was a little busy. He couldn't get right back to me. I've been to every chain of command that has been done. Legal service, the city of Atlanta City, the
I
director.
want to say this now. So, if the director is having a problem with a resident and constantly threatening to take their Section 8, they have the right to take their Section 8? I thought they had to go through HUD, courts and stuff like that to terminate somebody. And I understand what she's saying for the cease letters, because they don't like residents talking to them. Managers do get offended if residents speak out against what they're going through. You know, they'll give them a cease letter. But I thought it was with the courts that can terminate a resident's lease and not directly, because they upset, because they may not like what the resident is saying to them and threaten to evict them. Who gives them that power?
Section 8 does not threaten to evict. That is a court process. There's a separate agreement made with a participant of Section 8 and a continuation of receiving assistance through Section 8. No one is threatening to terminate anyone's participation with
I'm
Section 8
standing
program.
here today in front of the board. I'm telling the board today, Malcolm Isley threatened to terminate my voucher with no explanation behind it.
That's unacceptable.
He already had a perception about me when I got to the office from Janelle Alvarado, because me and her had a bad encounter from her trying to intentionally deceive me, give me the wrong paperwork that I had explained to her, no, this is not the paperwork that I'm asking you for. She tried to, I had both of the documents that she gave me in my bag.
Is there any way she can meet with you to, do you have her work and stuff?
We can set up a scheduled meeting, absolutely.
I've been trying to schedule a meeting with you for weeks.
Last week, there was an attempt to schedule, and it's...
I came in and talked to you on numerous
I know,
occasions.
we have met, we have talked. Last week and this week have been...
And I haven't got no correspondence about anything that I've been talking to you about, and you haven't called me and returned any of my calls to schedule any appointments for me to discuss or me
What
to
does she have
even
to do
explain
now,
to you
Tom?
or convey
Wait a minute,
anything.
ma'am. What does she have to do now so we can get this resolved? Because,
So, if I just want to
I'm
follow...
a resident too, and I know how some of the managers are, so I'm just saying, when can she meet with you? Because that's the problem that I be having. When they send emails, when they call, when they leave messages, and then no one contact them, and they ignore.
No, so
So
Ms.
what can y'all
Ms.
do?
Bailey was advised that I was
Okay.
unavailable, right? I will meet with you. Malcolm can be available.
I don't even want to see his face. I don't even want to see his
The
face.
one thing
Man, you don't
I did
even
want to,
need-
Commissioner, I just want to complete my thought from earlier.
Mhm.
No one is terminated from the Section 8 program unless there is a warranted reason
Yeah.
within the regulations for doing so.
Mhm.
All right, we can't just willy-nilly terminate people's assistance. That's not going to happen.
But that's program abuse.
I want to just make sure they're not threatening them with that, if that's the case. I mean, I'm having, because it just say, she said, he said. But this what I'm saying is, I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that managers are not using that to threaten a resident because they may not like what they say. Because it is freedom of speech, as long as they ain't threatening them. As long as they're not threatening anybody, the residents can't threaten them.
Make it up.
And they can't threaten them either.
I honestly do not believe that is happening. And if there's evidence to the
Well,
contrary,
you're not a resident, Tom, so you have to really go to you really have to talk to the resident to see if it is happening.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
We're going to schedule a meeting, all right, and we will address this at February's board meeting. So if you could come back, we will address it then, but there will be a meeting. Tom will reach out to you to schedule a meeting. He personally will meet with you, and at next month's board meeting, we will have a clear and concise answer.
Okay,
And I don't
well,
think that's
I
fair
really
to
need to
say
let
that
the
he-
board
that he's
know.
not doing
My
that.
Well, no,
landlord
we
is
gonna leave it at
constantly
that.
threatening me
Right.
with intent to
Listen what she's
vacate.
saying too.
And
Nothing will be done at next month's meeting. Please attend, and we will have a clear and concise answer for you.
okay, thank you very much.
They got you information, you get
Yes, thank you
that?
for my information.
So,
Let you know.
I just want to add, Chair,
Thank
just
you.
moving forward, Tom, like if we're having these meetings and stuff, if you want to meet with the resident, I would love for you to, maybe you or Beth to have your calendar here so we can schedule a meeting to see what your availability is.
Yeah.
So they can put it on your calendar so that way, we all know that if you can meet with this in a week or something.
If it's resolved by the next meeting,
No, I'm
it's-
saying because there's the second person.
it better happen before the next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
because
No, I
we'll
just
have a
wanted to
meeting
make sure
in
that
February,
we know.
And Tom is going to give us some clear and
Yeah,
You always
concise
say that at the
answers.
end of the meeting.
So let's just have
No, we'll have
something.
some clear and concise answers from the executive
You're not
director
gonna say
at the
the
meeting.
answer.
Scheduling the meeting Like right now.
No,
the
I'm just saying,
meeting-
they can do that. No, I'm not saying he's scheduling me for Beth as secretary, that's,
To
That was
know
doing
what
a
about.
lot
yeah,
right
but I'm
now.
just saying for her to have something
But you
just,
still need to meet.
they can schedule with, if we say we want a resident to meet with the ED, and they're gonna schedule a meeting, I wanna be here too, so we know we have it on record, so they can say,
At the February
you
meeting.
know, Beth gonna meet with this person 1 week from now, Monday, Tuesday, whatever.
They don't need.
Whatever his availability is,
At
to
the
give them
February
stuff.
meeting.
Yeah, I
go
understand
ahead.
the word, Chair.
And-
The one I'm saying, just for us to have us, like, just bring your
And,
calendar, whatever you free.
in the report,
we can put it in.
and in our packet.
I seen that that's a
there's
good report, we just started
with
doing it.
everything, yes, and that's.
So
what
I'm
we're
glad
doing.
we're doing this, I'm happy about that. you know.
So in every month, any resident who comes up with any issues, it would be a part of our board packet, how it was resolved.
Okay.
Okay? And at the next month's meeting, like I clearly said, so now getting into, oh, let's make sure it's on the schedule. Oh, it's gonna be next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And we
Because
all
people
know,
didn't
we
hear-
are giving
I
the executive
understand
director a directive.
Yes, I
We're
understand
giving
that.
our one employee a directive.
But you're talking
We want
about
an
this
answer.
too.
No,
I don't know
but
what
we
the
We
other
want
one
an
like.
answer.
It's not
Exactly.
answers,
I agree with
the
you
one-
on that.
Chair,
I agree with you on that, but what I disagree is, I don't want the director to be saying, when residents come in here and maybe telling their truth. I don't want to disregard that you just gonna take the mouth for the manager and the director, because I'm a resident myself. I understand what you're
I
saying,
asked her to come.
Yes.
I asked her to
but I want to be able to
be
hear them.
I asked her, please come to the
Yes, and if
February
they have a
meeting.
complaint, yes.
I don't know how more clear and concise I can get.
I agree.
Mr. Hall, I realize I've only been the executive director here for 3 months, and you don't know me all that well.
I'm not saying I do,
I am a person of integrity. I approach every situation objectively.
but you just said you
I'm
don't believe he
just-
said that. How do you know if he said it or not when you wasn't in the
Because
office?
I'm already
So don't
aware.
take sides until
Because
you
he's
get
already
voted.
I'm
aware
not-
of the situation.
I'm not taking
He's
sides.
not taking any
Because
sides.
To clarify,
if the Malcolm
to clarify,
is
what I said
threatening
was
to
that there's
evict people,
nothing that I've been
that's a
presented
problem.
with this
Commissioner
far
Hall.
that
I
suggests
said I was gonna be
that's what
kind
takes
and I was
place.
gonna work with y'all, but it's a problem if you got a director always threatening, I'm talking about insensitive to use that to hold that against them. I have a
Commissioner
problem with that.
Hall,
Okay,
we gave the executive director a directive.
Okay, thank you.
It's a part of the record.
Okay, thank you.
I asked the resident to come back at the February meeting.
And you talked to other
So we
residents.
can give her some clear, that message gets out.
Okay, thank you.
One speaks to the next. We want her to have clear and concise information. It will be on the record. I also have asked for every time someone comes up and speak, for it to be a part of our packet, an explanation
Thank
on
you.
how it was resolved.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Angela Torres, please.
Hey guys, how are you? First of all, I do want to say thank you that we're on the resolution, Altman Terrace. You guys made a promise, it went in.
Yeah.
A quick question, let's say it's voted all yes. What's the next step after that? So I can let my tenants know tomorrow.
Tenant Association.
Yes,
Once the resolution, if the resolution, I don't want
right,
to be
that's what I'm
presumptuous.
saying, if it's voted yes.
If it is voted yes, our accounting supervisor will post a summary of rental credits,
Right,
which will be posted directly to the tenants.
so it'll go right into their account, which is fine, they don't need the cash, let it go right into their account. That's fine. Now, my other issue is the security test. And I do know both the guys here, their hands are kind of shut with this, but we still need a top, a roofing to our desk. All the cold comes in and all that, it's disgusting, okay? Our screens, you can't see anything in the halls and all, it's very blurry. How are we supposed to try to keep our building safe if we really can't see? There's a microphone and a phone and the telephone that have to be replaced. The phone replaced, the microphone, they have to rewire it. If we have an emergency on the weekend, by the time we call a manager to come to get in there to where the microphone is, one of us could be on that microphone telling the tenants to beware, come down, we're coming to get you, or stay put. But we have no contact on the weekends or at night. But someone, the manager, did try but the microphone is not working properly. But that all has to do with security. They have to get on that. It's my tenant safety, and I won't have it, and it's my safety. Okay? The other issue, the leaks in our building. They try to get fixed, when we turn around, there's more leaks, and it's coming through the walls and stuff. It's all over, from one spot to the next spot. Something's got to be done with this, okay? And your last, I'm sorry, the special meeting you guys just had, terrible. You know why? You had the open session, then you had the close. At the open, when it finished, you guys should have actually said goodbye to the ones that were there. Because the closed session lasted an hour and 15 minutes. I kept my Zoom on, waiting till you guys got back on. Then you got back on and said goodnight. That's not right to people that are trying to make a difference and pay attention. So next time you guys do something like that, at least say, we're not coming back, this is a closed session. You know? But
Okay.
that's about it, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Torres.
You're very welcome.
Jackson, you want to? Okay, anyone else?
Sure.
You want to talk about?
Yeah, with regard to the security booth, I've been working with the security director
Right.
to coordinate efforts to get the booth taken care of. With regard to the leaks in the building, we currently have a solicitation and RFP out for an architectural and engineering firm.
Right.
In order for us to get larger scale projects like that done, we need specifications, we need a facade assessment to be performed so that we can actually bid it out and get a contractor to do that.
Right.
I realize that,
That part is nothing new for that building, nothing.
I realize we're kind of operating at the speed of government here, and unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. What I will say is that as soon as we have our RFP in and the contract is awarded for A&E, we have a very long list of projects for them to write up for us.
Right. Now, the security issue has to be taken care of, because we got too much crazy standing there. There's too many young people out here nowadays that don't care.
How
We have to
much
be
the security
prepared.
booth thing been
I'm
going?
sorry.
How long has that security booth thing been going?
That's
Have an
been like
apartment
that, that's been in operation, how long the security booth, you've been there? 100 years, I want to say. But all it is, you're looking at this. The desk is here when you come in. They have the plexiglass here. We have a side door, but there's no top to the building. So when it's cold, that whole cold air comes in. When it's 100 degrees out, we're suffocating. The cameras, if security's sitting here, which is part of my job too, we're sitting here. We have to be sitting this way to look at the cameras where that should have been put at your eye vision.
So who's the property manager over there? And have you,
It's
give the person,
Brian,
Brian?
but he's been,
Brian, have
Brian
you-
and Jeremy aware.
Brian, have you mentioned this stuff to the director or anybody about all these property issues?
Yes, Jeremy is aware,
Can I respond?
Huh?
yes.
Sure, yes.
So regarding the phone, we have a phone on order. The microphone, maybe our IT guy could look at that and try to resolve that. Regarding the, like the ceiling, so I put up the plastic as a temporary thing because I had guards that were complaining how cold it was. I was trying to get local 55 to put a ceiling on it, but, they were tasked with, turning units over. So I was trying to get a cover there, inlet, and shore part.
Who is our purchaser? Who's going to be purchasing?
Because I'm not saying,
Excuse me, ma'am, who's going to purchase our
I'm not
stuff?
saying these two gentlemen.
I'm not saying that.
Who's
Who's
our
supposed to purchase the stuff for us?
I put a door on it 3 years
Who
ago.
is our purchaser? I'm saying, who's supposed to, hey, Jerry our
Who's
purchaser?
the carpenter?
Huh?
Who's the carpenter?
No, I'm saying, is Jerry our, he's not our purchaser person that's supposed to get money?
It's not a purchase issue, it's not a money issue.
Yeah, but I think the only reason why I'm asking because I want to know how long it been going on. If the property manager already made a concern about it,
And they
how come
put
it's
in
not
stuff?
fixed yet?
Why?
And how long? Like, has it been a month, 2 months, 3
No.
months, 4 months?
I've been on that security desk for years.
It's been years?
It's been years.
So y'all said, now, in the last meeting we had, you said you were giving money to help with things, and y'all been at this for 2 years. This is why I have a problem at. Who is giving the money to fix the thing? The last time, all the managers, and they was at the meeting, they said that Jerry was not giving them money to buy supplies. If they need the supplies, why are we not releasing the money for them to get the supplies to fix the roof and to fix the things that need to be done?
I'm gonna just answer, Gabe's question, he asked me why it's still not done. So one of the reasons it's still not done, we still can't order supplies from anywhere. Cause I talked to Zed, and, he was gonna get maintenance to actually do it. But we don't have any supplies to do it, and, we can't get supplies. So that's another issue. We're
Why
still
we can't
having.
get supplies?
You gotta ask our QPA.
Who is the QPA?
Jared, as far as-
So that's what I'm coming back to.
So,
We fired
just,
John, so why
just to
we-
put this on the record, Chair, just to put this on the record, Tom, this is one of the complaints that we've been hearing as residents too. You know, a lot of the stuff is, when you talk to some of the maintenance people, the work morale is very low. These guys want to do the work, but they just don't have the material to do the work. I've been hearing this over and over. I just spoke to Dorsey about it outside a couple of minutes ago. And it's to the point like, you know, Tom, I think that this stuff, everything is falling on you because you're the ED.
Why you
And
not
how
trying to get
can-
Jerry to do it?
No, he's the ED, he worked with Jerry, so he's in front of us right now, so. But we had this frustration from the property managers, from the staff, and it's something that I think we really need to sit down as a board and figure out what's going on, because it's not fair to the resident, it's not fair to us at all. If the property manager, are they doing something wrong, they're not sending out the right, filling out the form the right way or something, what's the hold up? That's what I want to know, because it's just everybody that you talk to, they don't have supply, they don't have material, they don't have.
He's supposed to be the purchaser.
And I don't understand why we don't have money in our account to take care of that stuff, or is the workload too much? Like,
It's not a matter of not having money in the account.
okay,
The procurement agent's responsibility is to make sure that we are procuring goods and services the right way, both by state and federal, well, state law,
So
federal
all these
guidelines.
years, he's not dead. All these years, he didn't follow none of the rules. They didn't give us no rules. You said they followed the rules and regulations. Now, I remember Commissioner Dorsey said that in the 2 years you've been at solution for all different kinds of stuff. I understand that. But I'm saying out of all these years, come on now. My mom used to say, don't piss on me and tell me it's right. Now, out of all these years, I'm sorry, but out of all these years, and the management, and resident, and Jerry still, come on, he got to follow the regulations and the rules of the government, come on. And now we in trouble for all this stuff, so when is, come on, stop
Jerry
this.
hasn't been on board all these years, it's only been.
Yeah, I don't care how many years, it's still, he's a purchaser though.
At the February meeting, again.
But I'm saying, Chair, he's still a purchaser though.
Right.
Even though he hasn't been on all these years, he's paying them all this money.
But it's.
But where, how can they get their supplies? The manager and them are telling you now, security is telling you now
Yeah.
that they can't do this because they don't have the money, they don't have the supplies. And you saying no, then give them the money if that's the case. Somebody is lying, either you or them.
Commissioner, you're misunderstanding the situation.
I'm not misunderstanding
You
anything.
absolutely are.
No, I'm not. I'm not all, I'm agreeing with them.
This
So that
report,
you just got here, so how do you put that in the
this
same?
precedes me,
No,
and
come on.
I began to explain.
You always say about the kid.
This precedes me. Last year, 2 blanket purchase orders were issued via resolution. One to HD Supply, one to Home Depot. Those were done under cooperative slash state contract.
Why do we have
Since
zero?
then, if I may finish, since then, HUD's interpretation of whether it's acceptable or not has changed. There have been housing authorities that have been hit with massive audit findings. So our QPA advised me, as well as our attorneys, to cease using the blanket purchase order.
But he still get paid. Let me see all the other money.
Commissioner Hall,
Commissioner,
because misinformation
It's
gets
all
out there.
No, it's not
That's not correct.
misinformation.
It is.
It's all-
It is
that's-
misinformation. That's not
Finish.
correct. It's other things that he
Finish.
does.
I understand that.
If the federal government, if HUD
But he
says
ain't cutting his money.
state contract, but no, there are other things. His job is to make sure we stay in compliance. That is part of
So
his
no,
job.
get no money to fix up none of the budget.
No, you're missing the point. Yeah.
I'm not missing the point.
Yeah, you
Go
are.
ahead and finish what you saying, Tom. Go ahead and finish what you saying, Tom. The same thing y'all been saying for years now. Go ahead.
No, that's not the case.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It is it.
All right.
Since being advised, what we've been doing is using a slower
Okay.
quotation process. It takes a lot more time and it requires a lot more staff time to complete that process. right? Our QPA is researching a solution to have a blanket purchase order in place that still complies with HUD regs. It's not a matter of state law, it's HUD regs. We get our funding from HUD, therefore we have to comply with HUD regs. And their OIG interpretation is not in line with the previous purchase orders that were issued, so we advise not to use them. We are still going through the procurement process, which, going back to what I said about moving at the speed of government, is taking a ridiculously long time. There is not an absence of the ability to procure maintenance supplies. There's not an absence of money to pay for the maintenance supplies. It's the process that we are required to follow.
Let the roof
So,
fall in.
just-
Let the water keep running through like this man said. The leak. Let Stanley Home run down.
That's-
People cold, live in a hotel.
That's
Oh,
not
we're
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying.
spend none of the money because of the government resolution and law. But we can pay you $500K. We can give you $23,000 here. I ain't talking about you personally. You're not talking about you personally.
All right.
You can hire Ms.
Commissioner,
Johnson.
this is public
and
comment.
all these consultants. Wait a minute. You can
Commissioner
hire
Hall.
all these. No, don't cut me off
I'm
now.
going to-
You can hire all these consultants, but the government is
Commissioner Hall,
saying,
I'm asking you
don't
to
pick something
respect
out
the
of the
process
reunion.
of the
I'm not
meeting.
respecting the process.
Okay, respect the
I
process
am,
of
and I'm
the
not
meeting.
responding to
You're
what
an
you just
adult,
say.
you're an adult.
And yes, I
I'm
am.
asking you to respect the
And I am.
process of a meeting.
No,
That's all
because
I'm
we're not
asking,
wrestling
all
with
adults
y'all.
here.
Y'all
We
always
teach
gotta
children
do-
to respect orders,
And I am
and I'm just
respecting
asking
order.
you to
I'm
please
just
respect
replying to what
order.
you were
And
just saying.
then I'm going to the
I was
next
just
person,
answering what the
Linda
management
Hogan.
said. You
Linda
know, always
Hogan.
want to skip over that.
No, I'm not skipping over anything.
The
I'm
manager
asking
just
you-
said
Right.
they can't fix nothing. He just said it. They said they can't
Yes,
fix nothing
and we
because
heard it.
Jerry and them will not be receiving money.
Get your car, run a Home Depot,
He
and get
just,
the
he
material.
just blamed it on
All right.
government regulations and stuff.
Miss Linda Hogan,
Yes.
a landlord.
I was here in October regarding my rent money for August I never received. At that meeting, Tom told me he would be in touch with me. I never heard from him until this Monday. I sent him an email. He sent me the statement showing proof, so he claims that I was paid. Now, I have a direct deposit. I don't know where it was deposited to, but I do have my bank statements. And there was no $3,700. I got one payment. He told me that there was a thing issued for $3,700. Here's the
They'll
email.
make us something say you're lying.
Okay,
There you go.
I have all my bank records. I have everything. I have not
believe
received
you,
my
ma'am.
rent money. My lease is ending the end of February. I have a very nice, this is more than, I have a very nice tenant. She has two sick, one child has cerebral palsy, I'm feeding tube every 2 hours. It breaks my heart. I don't want to evict her, but I cannot afford to pay her rent.
But man, would you
I am 71 years,
Have you been to the
71 years
restaurant?
old. I was here in October, and I have yet to get in my money. Okay, this man tells me I got it. I have not gotten it. I have proof. I have not received it. Now, I don't know who's lying, and I really don't care, but I don't know what to do now, because now I'm at the crunch time with my tenant. Do I put her on the street with 2 babies?
That's not allowed by the law.
Huh? Oh, I can file for eviction for non-payment. I don't have to renew a lease. My lease is over.
If your tenant did not pay you,
You're not paying me.
the-
You're not paying me, so I'm going to take you to court for
But I
non-payment.
thought you said the last time, you said
You
that
told
we
me you
had.
would be in touch. You were never in touch
Until
with
we
me.
got a direction.
I
Okay,
respectfully
I
disagree,
don't
Ms.
want,
Hagan.
I don't want my tenant to leave. I happen to like the child. But it's not my responsibility to support her either.
Ms. Hogan,
Ms. Hogan, I respectfully disagree. You state that I have not been in contact with you. I have,
Monday, right here, I just sent a copy. That was the first time because I reached out to you. You
I
had not.
have communicated with you in the past as well.
Only, not since that meeting when you told me you would be in touch.
You said, she
Not
said you
one
didn't pay
time.
her. She didn't say you didn't get in contact, she said you didn't pay her money.
You still
But
haven't
you told
paid
me
me.
that you was gonna wait
Ms.
till we
Hall,
got
we don't need a
a,
translator.
I
You speak
understand
directly
I
with the executive
understand
director,
what Ms.
okay?
Hogan is saying.
Cause you said we ain't have a director.
Commissioner Hall, we don't need a
Ms. Hogan, when
translator.
you reached out First thing I did,
That piece of paper you sent me is not proof of anything. Where was that money deposited if it was sent? Because it's not in my bank account.
Ms. Hogan, first of all, Senator Pudding, we understand your issue. If our records show that a check went out and the executive director answered, that is what it is. You are now informing him that it is not in your account.
I informed him.
He will check it out and we will get back to you.
When?
He will set an appointment. Tomorrow he will call and have someone call and set an appointment. Look at that. We have to look at finance. And then.
He did that the other day. He told me he sent me proof.
Ma'am,
Where's the
I'm
email?
not debating with you. I'm telling you that
All right.
we're going to direct him to reach out to you and
Taking that piece of
verify the
paper
information you just
is
said,
proof.
figure out the
Okay.
problem. Okay. I
these
understand.
these are our financial records, and that's
That's
what I
not
sent
proof
to
to
you.
me.
I-
It's not
I
in my
understand.
bank account.
I understand that. So the
understand.
process is our finance department has to determine where did that money go. Your,
I would like to know where that money went. I didn't even receive it.
at this point in time, I suspect there was a banking issue.
Okay,
If
so
you-
whose
if you-
account is it in?
If you receive these payments, this,
I received what's on my bank statement, not what
and
you
if,
sent.
if you receive the payments that are listed subsequent to that statement, or that payment that you say you didn't receive, none of your information has changed in terms of your,
That's right.
your routing information, your
That's right,
account.
and I received 1,800, not 37,
So I
according
suspect,
to your,
so I suspect, and our finance department is looking into it, that it's a banking issue.
okay?
Once we identify what went wrong, the money
I had the
is
paperwork,
reissued.
I went to my bank. Here, you told me you sent 3,700, a check for 3,700.
And
A
that's-
deposit, that says 1,850.
I understand what you're
There's a
saying.
big difference.
You understand, ma'am? You understand?
My statement to you was based off of our
Well,
internal
that's not
documentation.
true. Okay, I want my money. I need my money. I need that. I'm 71 years old, it's my only income.
Ms. Hogan,
I understand.
you asked the question, we'll tell you we're going to address it.
I would like to know when.
As I said, we are directing the executive director to have someone reach out to you tomorrow and start the process of figuring it out.
If I do not hear from someone tomorrow.
And you don't need to threaten me.
I am,
Directly, that's what we're here for.
all right, I have been to this meeting, I have asked you, and nobody wants to even answer a telephone when you call that office. It's ridiculous. It's sad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marvin Nessa?
Hello, board. I
Hello.
see you have here on the agenda to send the bid for the online carpentry, and I want to know why. I've won it twice, and it's been rescinded. You know, and I got a call. Nobody called me and told me. I got a call from a manager that told me that, hey, they rescinding the bid. I just learned about that today. I'm waiting to be awarded the contract. Somebody said nothing. So who's doing the work? I mean, you looking at me, I mean, is somebody gonna answer? I got a call from independent corporation that monitors y'all bids and told me that I won the bid. Then I got a call from your attorney that told me also I won the bid. But now I see this on here. What's that about? I'm starting to think it's personal.
Not personal. And I'm the guy you talked to about this.
Exactly, I thought so.
Yeah, what happened was, as you know, we went out for bids from carpentry one time, we didn't get any bids back. We went out again, we got your bid, but you were the only bidder. The problem we have is that HUD requires us, that there's only a single bidder per job, to have a price estimate in place before we even go out to bid, so that when bid comes in, we can evaluate against our price analysis. It has to be independently determined, you know, what's a reasonable range of prices, which is not to say the prices aren't reasonable. The problem is that HUD requires us to have that in hand before we even go out to bid, which we did. So I suspect what's going to happen now is we'll have the price numbers worked up internally so that we have that piece that HUD wants, we'll go back out to bid on a quick turn.
So everything I did to get prepared for the bid, did by bond, all that is just wasted because you didn't have nobody else. So who's doing the work? That's what I'm saying. Nothing's getting done at Housing Authority?
That's
Nothing's getting done?
That's not just going to be it. If we could do it with the award, that would happen tonight, sure. But we can't because, as Mr. Salem mentioned. in a
Well, when
different
they
context-
asked Jerry, why is there only New Jersey contractors, doing work? Because he said they were the only ones that bid it.
Yeah, but that's not in play here. This, your bid was fine, as we discussed. Your bid was a responsive bid, and you're a responsible bidder. But we have a separate requirement, again, having nothing to do with you, that if we're in a situation where only one bid has come in, this wouldn't be happening if we had two bidders that had bid on us, but we did. So when we have one bid, we need to measure that against an independent estimate of what's a reasonable range of prices.
So if nobody else bids, you just don't get no work done.
It sounds stupid, and it probably is, but yeah. That's what we're stuck with, which is why the answer to it is, it's already started. Excuse me.
What type of response is that?
The answer to it is that we are developing the independent price estimate. We're going to go out to bid again, get it the quickest turnaround we can, which, might be like a 10-day exposure or something. Get new bids, book your bidding when that happens, and then we'll have that part covered.
So this is what I'm starting to think that's happening. My bid comes in, you look at it, you hand it to the next guy. Well, this is what it's seeming like.
Mr. Napper, I'm actually going to ask if the resolution could be tabled, and we not even vote on it tonight.
Yeah, because I don't think it's fair. I've won the bid twice and wasn't awarded twice.
Well, I don't know about the other one, I just know about this one.
I don't know if you were the council at that time, but I know I won it, and this is the second time. Then I was called also by, I don't know if he's director or what he is, whoever Jerry is. And he bid on a project, took him through the hoops, jumping through them, and now I'm informed that the thing was taken off the table.
Well, and the other thing is, and this is, I started to mention, Mr. Salem talked about it in a different context. If we don't follow HUD regulations to the letter, and we award a contractor, spend money for whatever fashion, when they do the audit, then HUD's response is going to be, okay, you spent X dollars on Mr. Napper, but when you awarded him the contract, it didn't follow our guidelines. Therefore, the agency, the housing authority, is going to have to repay whatever amount of money that was. They recapture, HUD recaptures the money. So the risk we run, and that's the reason we follow as rigorously as we can all HUD regulations. The risk you run is that you're on a larger project, you're spending a substantial amount of money perhaps. We might have to get that might all be recaptured by HUD. If they do an audit and say, well, when you awarded the contract, you didn't do it the right way. So we got to do it the right way.
To answer one of the other questions, we don't have to.
One second.
I want to answer the question you asked.
He's talking, so I want to respond to him. Because had I not came here, because he called me about 8 o'clock at night. So if I didn't come here tonight, how would I know? It was just been rescinded, and that was been it. Nobody notified me.
I'm not aware of the notification process.
So is it a notification process?
There's no one doing the work is all, I'm going to answer that question. And we're not contracting it with someone else. It's just.
So.
And what would have happened is, I would have called you. If the board voted tonight not to go ahead with the contract, to reject the bid, I would have let you know.
And this is, sir, is this the contract for carpenter?
Carpentry.
So nobody's giving me any work.
Prepared for Jerry's office.
Did we have a contract with you before, or?
Yes.
How long did we have a contract with you before, like?
2 years.
2 years. So this year is saying that you were the only
It's
person?
because it was only one response.
One response. The reason why I'm asking because in the past, we did only have one bid came through and we approved it.
Exactly.
So
I've seen that
that's,
happen.
yeah. So now I think maybe moving forward, I think we talked about it. That I think I came up with the idea too because I just felt like it wasn't fair that we were only getting one bid for certain things. Not because of you, sir. It was all the things that was happening that I didn't like. I'm like, no, we need to open up to everybody. We shouldn't just be giving contract to just one person, you know. So I don't know about your contract, but it was all the contract that came in front of us. I wasn't happy with it because I just felt I kept going to one people, like it wasn't,
Exactly.
you know. So I wanted to be fair to everybody because our QP did tell us that a lot of people dying that don't want to work with us, and which I thought was a lie. So I wanted us to be able to open it to our local business people down here. Like you said, it's not everybody from up North Jersey. So I had a problem with that because most of our bid was coming from up North Jersey, and I didn't like the idea. So that's why I wanted for us to be able to get contractors, people from down here, local contractors, to be able to bid for those things too, to be part of it. Because I didn't believe that people didn't want to work with us. I just thought that was, I didn't agree with it. So maybe because it was just one person that bid for it, that's why now they sent it out so we can get more than one person out there.
So
to bid it.
I'll remind you, Commissioner, that HUD
Yeah,
requires us to
yeah.
But if the bid goes out and only gets one answer 2 times, then the second time we're allowed to accept,
So,
but not the first time.
so I would just say, sir, just fly again. You know, but this is all.
Well, I think we need to change the process because when the bid goes out, we're not even getting it. You understand? Like, I had to pull teeth to get the bid package. You know, because, you know, I gotta call Jerry, I gotta call Jerry. He responds when he wants. The last time he responded to me the day before the bid was due at 10 o'clock at night, and I have proof.
Yeah, that's wrong, man.
I have proof, so I'm thinking it's personal.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I think it's personal.
Yeah, Chair, that's
We're
wrong.
talking about 10 o'clock at night. I got it right here on my phone.
No, I remember, I know what
Yeah.
It's right here on my phone.
That
And
is
I emailed him at least 4 times before he even responded. But he said he didn't get it.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
He said he didn't get it, but he gave me less than 8 hours to get him a bid that's due at 9 o'clock in the morning. Almost impossible. Come on.
That's wrong.
whether we're ultimately.
And you know we talk.
I know.
So, I mean,
I'm
where we at?
not disagreeing with what you're saying. What you're saying is what happened. But whatever the board does tonight on the resolution about rejecting all bids, whether they accept that or don't accept it, the carpenter is going to go out for a rebid. So I will let you know the second that hits the street.
I'm glad I showed up because I don't only have confidence that anybody's going to call me and tell me.
Thank you, Mr. Nackman. All right, next agenda item, who are the minutes?
Yes, thank you. Item number 4 on the agenda. This is the approval of meeting minutes for the meetings of December 21st, 2023. This is for the open session, and January 11th, 2024, special meeting, and this would be the minutes for both the open and the closed sessions.
Motion.
Motion, Commissioner Dorsey, second. Johnson, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none. Commissioner Dorsey.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBay.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall. I'm sorry, yes. Thank you. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wills. Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed. That the minutes are approved. Next, item 5, reports of board committees.
The executive meeting met, and it will be a part of Tom's report.
Next, item 6, treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report is submitted. The report on consent.
Okay. No comments. Item number 7, report of the secretary.
So, at the request of the board, we're following a slightly different format for the secretary's report. It does include some follow-up to the extent that we're not getting into personal detail or confidentiality breaches. So I've condensed my normal report to leave enough time for the remainder. So the Stanley Electrical Assessment has been reviewed by the board and the administration. We've taken that under advisement. Further repairs and upgrades must follow our procurement guidelines, which we're talking about quite a bit tonight. Our A&E firm request for proposals, or commonly known as an RFP, the due date for that is February 8th, and the award of that contract is expected during February of 2024. The technical specifications for all projects will be written for all open public bids by our A&E firm, whomever that ends up becoming. For example, any repairs, replacement of gas lines, heating systems, conversion to electrical upgrades, all would fall into that category. Our Stanley residents are receiving consultation regarding transfers between Stanley and other public housing properties, as well as housing choice voucher for issuance of a relocation voucher on a voluntary basis. John Clark and I are presently working on a draft relocation plan for Stanley for future use. I actually added a note here. It's a high-level response to Ms. Ruffin's question about why it takes so long. And obviously I wasn't here, and this is not to place any blame on anyone. But for the issues that we're dealing with at Stanley, they are severe, they are long-standing. In order for course correction to take place, meaning a solution for this problem, there are multiple parties that are involved. So it is impossible to place blame on any one party. There's the board, there's the administration, there's contractors, there's consultants, there's a lot of parties that get involved. There's the local municipal administration as well. There's various approvals that have to be given by the city. There's various approvals that have to be given by HUD. So by no means is it a simple snap of the fingers and all the problems are handled in one shot. That being said, as I've said in the past, I try not to focus in the rearview mirror too much. It's better to learn the lessons from the past and move forward with that knowledge. So I realize that it doesn't get into the weeds and answer that question, but I understand that the, as of late, common perception of mostly everyone is, let's just point the finger and say it's that person's fault, that person's fault. Really, it becomes a collective failure of a lot of different parties not working together toward a common goal. I firmly believe that that's what we have now. So sorry for the departure, but housing choice voucher. The focus has been, as of late, on file organization and cleanup of overdue research, app contracts, and project-based vouchers. Our new HQS inspector started just this month. We brought in a temporary file clerk to assist with file management, because that seems to be a pain point in that office. There was unfortunately no one at the helm for a long enough time that things became very disorganized and very hard to track. Our new Section 8 director identified 50 vouchers as being available for use as a result of attrition in the program. He is currently working with the HUD 2-year tool to project how many additional vouchers can be reasonably issued to further assist Stanley residents. We've also been in talks with HUD, field office, and regional personnel about various vehicles for obtaining additional vouchers should our residents wish to receive a voucher and relocate prior to large-scale relocation. Finance, our draft fiscal year end 3/31/2025 budget has been created by Finance. Analysis of same and revision are ongoing. We anticipate the completion of that process to be mid-February. The fiscal year end 2022 audit is now winding down. We anticipate that our auditor will be done with their work during the month of February 2024, so that it can be presented to the board for approval, adoption, and then submitted to HUD. Because of the fact that the audit for 2023 cannot begin until the audit for 2022 is complete, We expect that to commence immediately following completion of same, and the current projection is that it'll be complete in June of 2024. HUD, we have ongoing weekly meetings. Emphasis of discussion has been on recovery plan, which we've previously discussed, our capital plan revisions and updates, which again we need an A&E firm to really have substantive conversations about what things are going to cost, as well as Stanley Homes. Property management, their focus has been on vacancy terms, tenants accounts receivable, and to get more specific for anyone who's curious about tenant accounts receivable, as of this moment, our management department has been reaching out to a lot of our residents to try to establish repayment agreements on delinquent rents, deal with other tenancy issues in advance of having to move to the eviction process. And the management of Stanley transfers to other properties, as well as making temporary accommodations that are caused by service disruptions in heat and hot water and other habitability issues. We've created a tracking system that's in the process of being populated with data currently to help us manage a dashboard that makes dissemination of information to various parties a little bit easier. The PIC system, which is the HUD system that tracks tenant file data, is being updated to ensure that their data is accurate and it matches what we're seeing on our internal software. Personnel. We currently have a job posting for procurement coordinator that is open for applications until January 31st. We have a principal accounts clerk, which is a finance position, posting that is pending approval tonight of a memorandum of agreement with the union. We have a posting for chief financial officer that is pending. We are updating the job description. The previous job description was written more in line with civil service, which no longer applies. And we're doing a comparability analysis in regard to salary. Mod coordinator is also pending a comparability analysis, but the job description is all set for that. We also anticipate that our union negotiations for the next collective bargaining agreement, or all three of them, are in the process of being scheduled to start in February. Again, made reference to follow-up from prior meetings. I'm going to steer clear of divulging confidential information, but Ms. Robinson from Shore Park, she did speak about her correspondence that she had received from the landlord-tenant attorney. There have been numerous documents that have been researched, and there, as I expressed to Ms. Robinson, there is a path forward. And I'm going to refrain from getting into what that path is because it does involve matters regarding your lease, and I'm going to respect your privacy on that one. But we are going to work with you, should you be willing to accommodate what we're asking for in terms of documentation and steps in the process. There were a couple of matters that no response was necessary because no specific detail was given. We heard a concern from Ms. Daniels, who is a Section 8 participant. Our Housing Choice Voucher Director and staff reviewed and negotiated a rent increase with the landlord, and all parties agreed, and it was actually made effective for the month of January. That issue was resolved. As actually we already discussed this evening, Ms. Torres, we have a resolution being presented for this meeting to issue a one-time rent credit to the affected residents. Another issue that was discussed was Teresa McNair. Ms. McNair has been receiving continued hotel accommodations. We just received test results from Blue Corp. I was also advised that there have been discussions regarding her willingness to accept a Section 8 voucher, and that process, again, is already being handled by our Section 8 department. The next comment that was made was Mr. Green. Mr. Green and I, we actually followed up on December 22nd. This was actually, so for context, the concern was related to behavior of unnamed property managers, their quote, vindictiveness, and that they didn't want to be helpful. Mr. Green and I had a very, very productive conversation. Unfortunately, there were no specific examples of specific employees, but we have an open line of communication. He has my cell phone number, I have his, that if there are any further incidents that, we can discuss it and take appropriate action if the allegations that were referred to are proven to be accurate. I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. Everyone by this point that's employed by the Housing Authority understands how important it is. We've discussed it at length. The reason that we are here is to serve our residents. We are not here to hinder our residents or be counterproductive as it pertains to their quality of life. Our job is to make sure that we do everything that we can possibly do to help, not hurt. So with that, and that understanding is that staff will be held accountable if they violate that. We do understand that coaching is very important, and by no means do I mean what I'm saying to be interpreted as if somebody catches an attitude with a resident, they're fired the next day. That's not how that's going to happen. We're going to coach, we're going to correct, and then if every effort is made to curb that type of behavior, if it keeps going, then that individual will have no other option but to find somewhere else to be employed. So I apologize for the tangent, but it's important that we do discuss the workplace culture and reminding everybody why we are here. Next, a Section 8 participant had a concern about a sewage issue and various conditions that were expressed to be unaddressed by the landlord. We contacted the landlord, and the participant submitted an intent to vacate so that we can actually find a new place for this individual. Landlords are expected to comply with HQS standards. If they show that they are either unwilling to do so or do not have the means to do so, we will find somewhere else for our Section 8 participants to reside. And we are continuing to work with this individual to ensure that that happens. There's also a comment made by Mr. Young due to lack of specificity. There is no direct response to that. There's also a comment made by Mr. Cochran that he needed a member or the executive director, member meaning a member of the board or the executive director, to attend meetings to be able to answer tenant questions. Other than we have done that and we will continue to do that, there is no further response to that. And also, Ms. Ruffin, your question was regarding tearing down Stanley Homes. We are still advising that it's definitely one of the options that is being considered. But as I already stated, there is a lengthy process that we have to go through to ensure that we are considering every possible avenue, and that we don't want to just displace our residents. We want to make sure that we can bring something back if redevelopment happens that is better than what is there now for our residents. That's the conclusion of
Thank you,
my
Tom,
report.
for talking to me like I got some sense.
I just have some questions for.
Okay.
Is Ms. Judy Gray out there? Is she still out there?
Yeah.
Can you ask her to come to please? Because it's questions for both of you guys. Now, I think it's something that we need to consider too, if we can have like an emergency coordinator with, or, because there's so much stuff going on at Stanley Home with like where no hot water, heat. Because I've been at the hotel since Christmas, I think the 23rd or 24th since Christmas Eve. And every time we go back, it's like nothing's being done to the apartment or anything's being fixed. But I feel like we need to have some type of emergency coordinator with Ms. Gray, so we can have, like, if something emergency happen, that she have a team who can be able to work together for us to be able to make sure we have enough hotel rooms available for the resident or something. Do we have anything, any kind of emergency stuff in place for the resident, just in case like a hot water, heat, or the elevator, something happen at any one of our property that work with Ms. Julie, like, do we have anything in place?
So Judy does have one other person that is not currently assigned to emergencies that is working with her in her office. We did apply for more grant funding that would be eligible to be used to hire additional staff. I mean, our emergency response is a team effort. Whether that individual is part of the resident services department or not. So whether it's a weekend or a weeknight, doesn't matter. If emergency does occur, and the process as it stands is that if there is an emergency, that the after-hour call service is contacted. They'll contact maintenance. Maintenance will confirm that there is an issue. And both our Director of Property Management, Ms. Brock, Judy, myself, doesn't matter what time of the day it is, we will respond to it, and we will make sure that we secure hotel accommodations.
All right, I was just wanting to see if we could set up a team, so that way the resident will reach out to her, to call, or something like that, we should have something in place. If it's a number that can call to reach out, so we got, at least we know we have some type of emergency contact person in place for them to reach out to. And then also, I'm just finding out that the hotel that we stay in at Courtyard, I think the one on Tennessee Avenue.
Marriott Courtyard.
Yeah, Marriott Courtyard. That we keep getting extended, but I know now the hotel is complaining about like January 31st would be like the last day for the resident that's staying over there because they have previous. I don't know, Ms. Judy, you want to speak on that? Because I was talking to somebody in the lobby yesterday, and it was asking us questions like, how long are you guys here and this and that. I don't know if it's true. Is the hotel giving us a deadline like after the 31st will be cut off, or what's the plan? I don't know.
Ma'am, sorry, public comment is over.
Okay.
Ms. Judy, can you fill us in about the hotel situation, hiring process? Because I know the hotel said they're not taking any more guests, resident, because of, I don't know if you can
What's
just.
happening?
Yeah.
We have 18 people in Stanley Homes, and because of booking at the hotel from their regular clientele or people just coming to town for conventions, it's very difficult to know whether we can continue to extend. They'll give you 3 days, they'll give you 7 days. So as of right now, as it stands, January 31st is the checkout for everyone in that hotel. They have the weekend of the 8th and the 9th, something is coming in town. So in other words, he might be able to extend to the 8th, they have to leave, and then they can come back. And my comment to him today, we don't have, if they have to check out where they're going. In the city of Atlantic City, I have tried all the different hotels possible that could be even accommodating. And they want a credit card or, cash. They do not want a check. They do not want to enter into any type of agreement like they have. They do a purchase order. We've been put up against the wall because we have used the hotels here for emergencies with the years past, and they remember. When we had the fire, the Jeffries, and we literally were asked to leave 5 hotels here. So when you call back and the employees know, you say Atlantic City Housing Authority, they're like, no. Flagship, Atlantic Palace, places that could really accommodate families with cooking facilities, because they're timeshares. The answer is no. I even went down as far as I told Diddy, Atlantic City Sunset, right on the corner where Stanley is. It's only a room there.
And that's not really accommodating for some of the people at Stanley that have families. So it goes back to the question, the units that, the 18 people in the hotel, what's being done with those units? And then they're calling, sending text message that when they go home, it looks like the day they left. So the question comes back again, what do we want to do? I don't have that answer. I don't know.
That's the reason why I
And
brought
then
it up.
transportation, a lot of people do not drive, so if we get a room over offshore, how are they gonna get there? You know, and then the kids are in school. I even talked to Sugar. We were at the Sugar during that fire and was asked to leave. New management, so I'm working on the new management if I can. But even then, it would be hotel accommodations, because they now have apartments. They only have 3 available.
So that's the reason why I was asking about, do we have an emergency thing set up? Because such situation like this come about, how are we gonna take care of the resident? Like for me, I go on the weekend, we wanna go on the weekend to Copeland Saturday, because the place is freezing, it's cold. We take the food back to the hotel, and I've been staying with my 2 little kids. It's crazy. I'm running out of money because I gotta buy food every day. It's like, so it's just constant, it's constant stuff going on. So I really want the board for us to talk to Thomas how we can work together to have something set up. Because that was my last question. If we do move offshore, how are these residents going to get to the city, like to do the everyday thing? What's in place? So what are we putting in place for those things, for those emergencies that rise?
Not to cut you short or change the subject, but I think a better question is, we specifically asked for this report that we have before us today for the vacancies and the conditions, but for those 18 that are currently in hotels, I'd like to see the report of the issues and what's the expected completion date, what's being done in these units. Because this is, obviously, he's got a month. What do we need in his unit that he's got?
The hot water, the heat. And then the other thing I wanted to add on that, God, it slipped my mind. But that's what it's coming down to. Like when we talk to the maintenance people, we talk to some of the people, it comes back down to we don't have the materials. We don't have the materials. No, I'm just, that's what I'm saying, but it's just a lot of different things where some of the residents have issues. They don't have materials to take care of what they need to take care of. And we did talk about trying to beef up the staff, so we can get some of these units that can be turned over. It's like, so what's the hold up? And that's why I keep asking, what is the hold up? Like, why is it procurement? Is it like, what is the hold up? Why maintenance people don't even have the material to even put some of the stuff in status, like where you can move families and stuff? What is the hold up? So that's what I wanted to know from you. Is this from procurement, maintenance, contract, like what's going on? What's the hold up? So that's the frustrating part about it. And that's why I was trying to find out, like, what.
When it comes to talking about staff member, we have to go in closed session.
Okay.
At one point, and I'm not sure, Stephanie, if it still happens within the school system, when the children were placed out of the city, the families have been placed years ago. I've been out of the system for a while. But they had buses that would pick up the children from the hotels and the motels offshore. I don't know if that's still happening or if they will still do that, but that was the practice at one time because there were children who were displaced from the city offshore.
Some school does it, like where I work here in Prince Academy, we have family members.
Maybe we need to see if the city will be.
And that's why I said we need an emergency team, so that way, if we do have a team, they can reach out to the school, let them know, whatever. So we need to have something in place, just something like that, come up, so we can.
It's great. If maybe we could reach out to the school district here and see if if you placed some of their families offshore, if they would have transportation to pick the students up from the hotels offshore and bring them into the city.
Yes, Dee's well aware, I did reach out to Homestead, which is an apartment style. And he invited us to come and look at it for the families that we may be accommodating. And then at that point, maybe we will be able to make some type of connection for the kids to get to school, but then what about those that have to get to work? It is on a bus route, so I guess piggybacking off of what Commissioner Gabay said, the committee would be able to know we need to purchase bus tickets, we need to purchase whatever, we need to have food vouchers, because that's the main thing. My phone is just blown up. Well, I can't continue to pay out of pocket. I go home, you know, it's too cold for me. I want to go home. I don't want to stay in a hotel. That's the word now. I don't want to be in a hotel. I want to go home. And I said, I understand. I'm doing the best I can. So we are looking, hopefully, and I don't know how many can be accommodated over at the Homestead Lights. It's right on the Black Horse Pike, across the street from where Kmart used to be. He told me, but, you know, they have kitchen cooking facilities in there. And then they have the other side as well. So I guess, you know, that's an idea. We did have the plaza and nobody wanted to go to the plaza, but we have to go, we have to go. They don't have cooking facilities. It's just a room. Then you have a family that has too many, but the kids are minors, so they can't occupy a hotel room. So I have one pending on that. She has about 6 children, and the sexes of the children, and it's too many for the one to go into a one room. They don't have connecting doors, and the kids are minors, so they can't occupy a room. So
Do you have any seniors? Is there any
yeah,
seniors?
it's a
So
seniors.
Are they on medication? Because some medications have to be in refrigerators and.
Well, each room, and where they are now, each room has a microwave.
They have to leave. I'm saying if they have to leave on the 31st, and they might have to go into one room where they have refrigerators and stuff for the seniors. And then how the seniors gonna get back and forth? And, you know, it's just a mess.
But that's what I'm saying, that's what we need to set up some type of task for emergency meeting or something. And I think you were saying something about Judy's position is based on grant, so we applied for grants so we can be able to hire more people in that department.
Yes, all business based on grants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that department definitely need, I don't know, if we need a grant writer or somebody. Because Judy's like, she's running around like a crazy person, you know, and she ain't got a lot on her plate. And it calls like, you know, like sometimes I tell you guys, I gotta stay in that mindset that I'm a commissioner and forget about me being a resident. And it's tough sometimes. But I'm working with her. As we speak, my kids and my wife in my apartment is freezing, and I'm staying here because they don't have transportation to get back to the hotel. But it's things like that, so we need to figure out some type of way for us to be able to, so when something like this happens, that we have a smooth, you know, so the resident won't have to feel this. So we need to try to find wherever the grant writer is, or she need help in that department. And our program in Stanley Home and the other place, it's not gonna stop anytime soon, so we need to try to figure out a way for us to get the grant to help her out so she can help more people on her thing. So
So they don't have to get somebody to do that doing it.
it's gonna hurt.
Okay, we're going to do our best to accommodate the residents. We're not going to, this public session is over.
No,
Please come back
I'm just, why, I'm from the old school. I lived in hotels practically all my life until I got to Stanley Home Village. Why don't y'all invest in hot plates?
Public session is over. I welcome you back in February.
But I'm not coming back unless the senior citizens don't get help. I will be in touch with you, Tom. I will be in touch with you. I like you.
Okay. All right.
Yes, you honest.
One of the other places that may be available, but you have to go through, I'm not sure. Not the room house. The places where people come in from the beginning. Airbnb, that's exactly, I couldn't think of it.
Okay. Thank you for that also, Ms. Johnson.
I don't know if, you know, there are 2 of them, 2 huge ones right beside us.
Yes. I'm surrounded by 15.
That's something we can look into for temporary, to see.
So maybe you could talk to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that could be a place for, you know, the children.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to look into that. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 8 is other business and communication. And we do not, yes, we'll discuss that under within order. Okay, moving on to the agenda items.
All right, we have this evening 7 resolutions on the agenda. Numbers?
Stay in the meeting, guys.
Still on the meeting.
We have, item number 9, resolutions. 7 resolutions on the agenda tonight, numbered sequentially 9735 through 9741. The first of those is a resolution memorializing the authority's September 7, 2023 termination of the employment of Matthew Doherty.
Motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And before the board considers it, I just wanted to point out, this is on the agenda at my request, because if you remember, on September 7th, the actual board action came on a voice vote, a voice resolution, and I stated on the record at that point that it would be followed up with a memorializing resolution, which sort of slipped through until Beth Ann brought it to my attention. So that's the reason this is here. It's basically just to close the loop and put into writing what it was the board already did during the meeting on September 7th. Thank you. So it's open for discussion.
Seeing no questions, we'll move with the vote.
Commissioner Dorsey.
Yes.
Commissioner Gabet. Thank you. Commissioner Hall.
I'm staying with my vote that I did the first time, no.
No, got it. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wills.
Yes.
And Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes.
That resolution passes 4 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 abstention. Next is Resolution 9736. This is a resolution approving and authorizing the use of Section 8 vouchers to transfer residents out of Family Homes Village. I have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Thank you.
I just want to, before we put this in, before we vote, like, I know we were talking about Section 8, and a lot of our residents, I know you guys saying that this voucher stuff is going to be based on the resident who's willing to accept it or take it. But I also want us to make sure that in this resolution that the residents should have options, right? Because like right now to find apartment, find places, it's very, very challenging and difficult. It's, you know, so I want us to make sure that if these residents cannot find places, I know we were talking about 120 days, it's versus what, 90, is it 60 or 90? 90 days for them to find 60, it can be extended. But just so if you go forward to the 120, if they can't find something, can we be able to give them the option to come back and be able to you know, because right now the rent prices is up. I don't know how much the voucher is going to be worth for. We don't know all that, so we gotta get
This is giving them an option.
Yeah, no, I say give them an option.
This is us giving them this as an option.
Yes, but I'm saying, but with voucher, because for me doing my research, talking to some people, sometimes when they go out there, they can't find something.
Right.
Coming back.
But we're not locking into anything. We're authorizing the agency to give them this option.
I agree. I'm just saying, if we do make the stuff out there, I want it to be in writing that they can be able to have an option to come back if they can.
They will never leave here.
No, I'm clear. Okay, so I just want to make sure.
This might resolve.
Okay.
This might resolve. No one's being kicked out of the union.
No, I said people being kicked
So
out.
what you're saying, to be welcome
No,
back, they haven't
no,
left.
no,
If
no,
you
you-
say
you're
to
not-
well, be clear, because
Okay,
you're
I'm being
saying
clear.
to
You're not
welcome
listening.
them
You're not
back.
listening. You know
We
what I'm saying?
are. You said to
If
welcome them
a
back.
resident take the voucher to go look for.
So you're saying if they take the voucher
Yeah,
and leave?
They leave, they cannot find a place, they
Well,
can't.
no, they won't leave.
I'm
If
just
they
saying-
can't find
Or if
anything.
we give them, what, 60 days, right?
If they're given a voucher, they have a place in Stanley. They have a place. They're not losing a
They won't take the
place.
voucher back.
I agree with you. The one I'm saying, if we give them the time frame, if that time frame run out,
They don't lose their place that they're in.
Voucher back.
They don't lose their
They
place.
take the voucher
So that's what I
back.
said, we gotta make it clear to
You
them.
may lose the voucher.
Yes, they
Okay.
won't lose the voucher.
Okay, so then let's make it clear, that's all I'm gonna say, we gotta make that clear so we
So
know
they're
it's
fine.
in there,
We're
so.
not just getting rid of
But
people.
I ain't saying we're getting rid of people, I just want us to have that in there, so that way they know they have the option. That's what I'm trying to say.
The option is here's a voucher.
Yeah.
Okay, they have their place. They're not losing their place.
I'm not saying they're losing their place.
Okay.
If they can't find a place all
They
the
still
time.
have their place. That voucher may
We
expire.
should still.
Some
you know,
people
just have it.
extend.
Okay.
It's a
I just wanna
process.
make sure we clear that can be clear to the resident. That's all.
You extend it.
Because a lot of the residents are afraid, the reason why I'm bringing that up, if they do move out, they take a voucher, do we have something, I think, I was talking to you before, you said you do give them voucher for utilities? Do we give them voucher
No,
for
that's some of the
utilities?
senior, that's Jeffrey's, some of the
Just for the
seniors, depending
senior?
on their income.
Okay, no, that's why I just want us to make sure we, you know, the resident be clear when we do explain this stuff to them, to make it clear to them, so they have all understanding, they won't be here.
So Section 8, they don't get a utility loss because they probably do. Or they're just with the state.
It's all depending on.
I'm just saying, they're just with the state Section 8.
It's all depending on income.
That's for the staff to offer the residents. We're just authorizing this option to be given
Okay.
for standing.
All right.
Ready for a roll call vote?
Yes, please.
Commissioner Dorsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Duvet?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wills?
Yes.
Chairwoman Marshall?
Yes.
That has passed, 6 in favor, none opposed. Resolution 9737, a resolution approving a rent abatement for residents of Altman Terrace due to temporary interruption of hot water service. May I have a motion and second?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
That is open for discussion.
And this is just for 1 month, or how much?
It's a report. We got a whole report in there.
No, yeah, no, I'm asking the
It's the
credit.
credits.
they're giving
Look at
them.
the last
Yeah,
column.
the one I'm asking the credit, because I know at Stanley, we were giving the people credit for 1 month, so.
So it was prorated to 73%, which is based on the length of time that the service interruption lasted.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking that, when we had this issue at Stanley,
We said 1 month. With this, we're doing a calculation, so it's a period of a couple days, and that last column
I'm saying
breaks
that-
down the.
Chair, I understand not saying that, but when I'm asking, if we get standing home resident 1 month, when they have the same issue for like a week or 2 weeks, we give them a whole month.
We're mixing apples and oranges.
Yeah,
We're not
we
missing
are.
apple and oranges.
It was a different situation over at Altman,
But what I'm saying, if we did it for 1 people, why we can do it for the same?
because it's a different situation for Altman. That's why.
Isn't it all into it the same thing with the hot water and heat?
Yeah, but it's not. It's different.
My thing, I'm just saying, like, if we wanna do it for one place,
It's
we should
different.
keep.
It's
It's not
multiple
different, it's the
issues.
for a resident, Chair, it's not different, you keep saying it's different. I'm trying to say, like, if we do it for Stanley, like, where people didn't have hot water and heat for a week or 2, I think it was our second time giving credit to Stanley Home for like, the first thing happened, we give it for a month. Council Shabazz and everybody came up here the last day, they were talking on behalf of Stanley Home residents, we give them another month. So my question is, why we can't go do the same thing for these residents?
We understand the question. We understand the question.
So we're not getting this from off, we're just going to do this on calculation.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair, though, but, okay.
So how long did they get it?
It's in the report.
She's saying that
It's
it
a
was
part of the
out some
resolution.
residents who didn't have it for 2 weeks or 1
Anything
week,
else
they
you wanna
did
add?
this off of that.
Oh, they basing it off here.
But I think it should be the same thing they did for Stanley, though, should go across the board for everybody.
So the calculation, it's, as we stated, is not apples to apples. It was not heat and hot water. There was an issue with the hot water that was documented. There was a valve that had to be sourced out of California that did take some time to come in and then be installed. We explored the option of bypassing the valve, which was not an option. This was not heat and hot water. It was hot water, which we recognize it is a serious inconvenience. And the prorated credit is for 3/4 of 1 month, roughly, of rent. It's actually 73% instead of 75%.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying, at Stanley, we had some places that didn't have hot water, but they had heat. Some places they didn't have heat, but they had hot water.
We understand.
And we gave them
We understand.
something across the board. So that's why I think we should just keep it here. Thanks for me.
Call the vote.
Commissioner Dorsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Duvet?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wills?
Yes.
Chairwoman Marshall?
Yes.
That has passed, 6 in favor, none opposed. Resolution 9738, a resolution approving and authorizing the award of a contract to DNF Consulting Group for HUD Compliance Consulting Services. Motion and second.
Who are these people?
Motion.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry.
Motion, Chairwoman. Do we have a second?
Who are these people?
Thank you. Thank you. Now open for discussion.
This is a consultant agency? This is another consultant agency?
This DNF is,
Well, who is this?
that's the consulting group run by Diane Johnson, who was here a few weeks back.
So,
That was in our packet too.
yeah,
I know, I see it in the bag, and I see all this, that she signed.
so just to go back when we were talking about the carpet stuff, and I'm all for Ms. Johnson.
We can't move on to another resolution.
You know,
we want this
the
one.
resolution, I'm talking about like the bid, how many people bid for bid?
That's professional services.
Yeah, but how many, did we put it out there, we just,
Right, it's different from on call, from an RFP is different from a bid. That's professional services.
so does anybody else apply for it, or
No.
just one person?
No, but it's professional services, so it's different. It's not the same.
In terms of the regulations, we're not obliged to go back out. It's a professional service, you only get one at a time.
So when the Johnson come in, where's her, this she's gonna be doing different than all our other consultants?
She will, you wanna?
And we're gonna be fixed, and we're gonna be done.
She's helping us with the application for Stanley, for the demolition, and keeping us in compliance with HUD with that, relocating residents. She's already reached out, had people reach out to other developers, and so that would be largely her role in making sure we stay in compliance with her 35 years plus with HUD.
So will she be helping out with the residents getting, hotel and stuff?
No, that would
There.
continue to stay, no. Her scope is much larger than that.
So
Yeah.
who is helping with the relocation of our residents and stuff? Who do we have for that?
It
Besides just the
depends, if
ticket
it's a
voucher,
Section 8 voucher, it's up to them. But, I mean, we can all, if we know landlords who are willing to rent to Section 8 residents. I personally rode by a building, saw a sign, I gave them a call, I said, would you take tenants for Section 8? They said, sure. I gave the information at the time. Pardon me, the inspection. We do the inspection.
The code. Can I ask, how much Ms. Johnson will get paid?
It's in the packet.
See it?
Like,
And it's
The public would
hourly.
like to hear this stuff too,
It's,
just mentioning, the public would like to hear answers. If you just keep saying it's in the packet, we don't hear the answer.
okay,
It's not public information until it's been approved, right?
yes.
I didn't see where her pay.
It becomes public
It's in there.
information once it's approved.
it's breakdown, like,
How do we get that information?
Public office.
Oh.
And what page is it on in this package?
I viewed my packet the other night.
I looked at her package, but I didn't see, I seen all this other stuff that was written and signed by her, but I didn't see how much we gonna be paying. So she's getting paid from the Lansing Housing Authority?
Yes.
But that's what I'm understanding, why we have all this money to pay all these consultants, but we don't have no money to get the roof fixed, the house.
But you know how we do have that?
yeah, but one purpose.
It's within the resolution. Look at the resolution. You got the resolution? It's on the cover of the resolution. And then it was just on that one page. Yeah, it's on the cover. Look at the resolution.
I'm looking, I don't see it.
Page 2.
Page 2. I'm sorry.
It ain't what I said.
Not to exceed.
Commissioner Hall, it's resolution 9738-01-24, page 2.
I think Commissioner Hall has his commissioner advantage.
$7,000? That's what we paying?
It says not to exceed.
To $260?
All right, let's move on. All of this was in the packet and information, so, call a vote.
Certainly. Commissioner Dorsey.
Well, we wasn't included when all this got written.
We all got the packet on Tuesday. We all included. I read the packet.
What was this?
I read it too, but I didn't see
Abstain.
71,000 out.
Commissioner Goudet?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Commissioner Hall, your vote?
No, I vote
Joe Mel?
Yeah.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner
no.
Wills?
Yes.
Chairwoman Marshall?
Yes.
That resolution has passed. 4 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 abstention. Resolution 9739, Chair, you indicated maybe you want to table this one?
Yes, I want to table this resolution.
This is the resolution that would have rejected all bids for on-call carpentry and repair services. Our Chair has indicated she would like to have the board consider a motion to table.
Motion.
Second.
A motion was made. Second.
Table the resolution, we can discuss it later.
So, the motion before the board, motion made by the chairwoman, second by Commissioner Dorsey, is to table Resolution 9739. Any discussion? Roll call vote. This is again on the motion to table. Commissioner Dorsey.
Yes. Talk about it later.
Yes.
Commissioner Goudet.
Yes.
Commissioner Goudet. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wills.
Yes.
Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed. 9739 has been tabled. Next, Resolution 9740, a resolution approving and authorizing a memorandum of agreement with CWA Local 1038. I have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Thank you. Second. Second, Commissioner Goudet. It's open for discussion.
Are we going to just hire one person, or?
At this present time, we have a need for one person, and if the volume of work exceeds what one person can handle, we would have the ability to hire a second. What this resolution does is increases the salary range per the union for principal accounts clerk position, which previously started at $33,000 per year, which is pretty egregiously low.
I know, I think the last time we talked, I think we said we were open to trying to hire 2 people for this, because we had started site and all. I think one person, I don't know, I think one person's name, I think if we could get 2, because with a lot of workload, and she can track of the work orders and all this stuff.
Oh, it's a different position. This is for finance position.
Oh, this is finance?
This is
Okay.
purchasing.
You're thinking of maintenance clerk. So
Yeah.
maintenance clerk, different position.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never thought we were talking about that, so, all right.
Correct.
There's no further discussion. Roll call vote. Commissioner Dorsey.
Yes.
Commissioner Goudet.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wills.
Yes.
Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes.
That has passed, 6 in favor and none opposed. Resolution 9741, a resolution approving the attached pre-check rating report and disbursements of bills thereof. I have a motion and a second.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second Commissioner Johnson. That's open for discussion.
Here and now, we can call a vote.
Commissioner Dorsey. Commissioner Goudet.
Yes.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wills.
Yes.
And Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes.
Thank you, that has passed 6 in favor, none opposed. Is my understanding that there may be a resolution proposed, a voice resolution proposed?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes.
I'd like to propose a resolution to be added to our agenda. I'd like to propose a resolution for the board to consider, a resolution, if you want to put the wording together, the resolution would authorize our executive director to open renegotiations of the current contract with our security union.
right, so I have this correct. Resolution proposed by Commissioner Dorsey, which would be numbered sequentially 9742-01-24, would authorize the executive director to reopen negotiations with the security union. Do you know the number of?
I don't know.
The executive director knows which union this is, right?
Not enough to recite it, but I'm familiar with the union.
All right. So we have a motion proposed by Commissioner Dorsey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the chair. Discussion.
I guess what are we doing?
Ms. Wills, yes, we had, back in May, before we hired Matt, discussed renegotiating security as well as maintenance. At that time, we had a resolution that was proposed and the security portion was left off. So we're attempting to fix what we had intended to do back last year and have the executive director reopen these negotiations to discuss terms, including compensation with security guards.
So, are we supposed to be meeting with him anyway?
Yes, we are scheduling negotiations for the upcoming CBA.
So they can just do everything at one time at that?
This would take effect for now and not skip the next 4 months of negotiations.
The box that if we do go on the resolution, then you can just add everything together, take this, that we agreed.
They could negotiate the subsequent contract at the same time.
So which one are they in with the contract if they're negotiating?
So what are you?
What's in the contract that they don't negotiate?
Those terms we would discuss amongst us and determine later.
What's the commission?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that whatever the minimum right now, it's not livable, like it just not livable. And the same with the unions, I feel like if we want to get qualified staff and security game, we do need to give them a little bit of wages, so everywhere else is.
They have benefits.
This good stuff.
I said, will benefits be in there discussed?
No, no benefits.
Just wages.
Okay.
If there's no further discussion, it's ready for a roll call vote. Commissioner Dorsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wills?
Yes.
Chairwoman Marshall?
Yes.
That has passed, 6 in favor, none opposed. I will prepare a memorializing resolution for the next meeting. Any questions? Right.
Contract.
I'm advised that there is a need for a closed session, so at this time, we will consider a vote to enter into closed session to discuss matters of contract and litigation, and it's not anticipated that any action will be taken.
No.
All right.
Any motion?
Motion from Commissioner Dorsey,
Okay.
second Commissioner Hall.
About 20 minutes of closed session.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wills. And Chairwoman Marshall. Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes. Yes.
For the record, in closed session, the board discussed. In closed session, we discussed matters of contract, litigation, and personnel. No action is going to be taken tonight as a result of those discussions. When the subject matter of closed session no longer requires confidentiality closed session, then the subject will be made public. We are back in open session. According to the agenda, we are on item 10. Good morning.
We're exhausted.
Is that good or is that?
Motion
to adjourn. Second by Commissioner Day. Roll call vote on this one. Commissioner Dorsey.
Electrician, yes.
Commissioner Day. Yes. Commissioner Hall. Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Wills. And Chairwoman Marshall.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
come right over. Sorry, Commissioner Willis.
Yes.
You were about to stay.
If I get beat up tonight, it's all your fault. Don't get me out too late.